Hello everyone, Mama Trip here with another video. This one is going to be a little more detailed look inside and around the large Business Affinity that I just received from Rebag. So I did a clear trade with 4 other items. I'll link down below the video showing you those 4 other items, and then I'll also link down below my unboxing of this guy. So I haven't used him yet, but I've been playing around with what he fits and just kind of checking it out, and I just wanted to give you my first impression so far. So this is the Chanel Business Affinity bag in the large size in the black caviar quilted leather. So this is one of the older models. So the history of this bag is kind of when it first came out. I believe it came out in 2016, and it did originally have this quilting, and I did love it, and I did want it, and I did not get it. And then the next iteration, I think in like 2017, came out with, they smoothed out this portion and they put the quilting on the body, which I did not like. So then I was like, oh shucks, they changed it. I was pretty sad about that, but they did give it feet, so that's kind of nice in some respects, to be able to protect the bottom of your bag. But then what they did was that they changed the interior to not be all leather, so it became like a canvas fabric on the inside, but they did give you feet, but they did smooth out this top. So I was like, oh, maybe I still really love the overall idea of the bag, but maybe I won't. And then they got rid of the smooth leather here, and then they bring back the quilting, but it was still the canvas interior. And so I kind of, it was always on my radar. I always kind of wanted one. And then in the last few years, right, the price increases didn't hit this bag as hard, but it did, overall kind of go up. I think it's like $2,000 more than when I originally kind of started to look at it. And then earlier this year, I finally, the price increase happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, this bag is gonna go above 5,000 for the small and the medium, and so I'm just gonna get one because they're hard to get. Also, they only release a few and not every season. So this is my medium size Business Affinity in the black caviar leather. Yes, they're both in black. But yes, it has feet. It has the caviar quilting on the top, but it has so got a bunch of stuff in here. It does have the canvas lining, and then of course what Chanel did is this last season, I can't even, is it 22p? I can't remember which one we're on now, but the leather interior is back, like the same year that I decided to finally buy one, and they have not had a price increase on this one since I purchased this. So this one is still $4,900. So the small size, so there's one smaller than this, which is $4,600. This is $4,900, and now this size right now is $5,300. So this size did go above 5,000. But this, they didn't have price increase, but now they did not have a price increase. Oh my gosh, I don't know how that's going to sound on playback, but they did not have a price increase with this one. And now the interior is leather again, and that makes me a little bit sad because I do wish that this one had leather interior for the price that I paid for it. It is an overall heavier bag, so I don't know necessarily how much heavier it would make it, because when I hold these two together, sure, this is significantly bigger, but it's not actually that much heavier. So they also did other things in the years in between these two to make this bag kind of meatier and heavier. But the other thing that they came out with this season is this like micro version, and it's kind of like a wallet on chain situation that looks like a Business Affinity. So it still has this top handle, and it still has this tiny front zip pocket, but it's so small and it's so adorable. If you put into YouTube like micro Chanel Business Affinity or the current season Business Affinity, like 22p Business Affinity, then you'll see a few people with unboxings of it, and it is adorable, and I kind of want it. Guys, I'm whispering and I'm hoping the microphone still catches up, but I kind of want it. I think that if the prices don't go up, you know, in the next few years with Who Am I Kidding? They probably will, but I would definitely like to add the small size in a color, so a gray or a blue or a pink. I think I'll get more use out of a gray or a blue than a pink because I already have a couple other like pink colored bags that I really love, so maybe I get more use out of a more, to me blue and gray are neutral, very neutral colors, so really get more used to that. And then and then maybe a micro because it's so cute. Okay, yeah, but this video is supposed to be about this guy, and I brought my single flap jumbo out so that you guys can kind of see the size comparison here. So the Business Affinity is maybe slightly, or actually it's about the same height almost. Maybe this is a little bit taller. And then in terms of width, it's actually fairly comparable. And then in terms of length, you can see, oh, I wonder if we can adjust that. The jumbo is just ever so slightly kind of is longer. So the jumbo is just ever so slightly longer. I think that if you go to the official dimensions, this is a little, like about an inch bigger in terms of this direction, so width. But in height, it's fairly similar. I think this is supposed to be about an inch taller. And then in depth, right? The depth, the measurements aren't exactly accurate once the bags kind of extend past a certain number of years because they all stretch out eventually, but the depth is supposed to be slightly more on the Business Affinity, but you can see they're kind of very similar here. This one's slightly bigger and it does have the front pocket. So they fit a fairly similar amount. Yeah, but I mean, it's much bigger than my medium size. So in the quilting, right, so a lot of times when you're confused as to what size you're getting, you just count the quilting, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full quilts across, whereas this guy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 full quilts across. If you want to do partial quilts, you just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 is the maximum number of quilts, but not full quilts. And then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it might seem like not that much, but a whole quilt is more than an inch. So it's a significant, you know, difference in size that way. And as you can see, the height difference is quite measurable. That's probably like 2 inches there. And then the depth, right? This is a much bigger bag, you know, in terms of what I can fit in here. So to me, even though they pretty much look exactly the same, they're the same color, the same champagne gold hardware, they're very different occasion bags, right? So this one can't be really that formal because it's so large. This one, you know, kind of has the bare minimum essentials that you want to carry. You can't put a full wallet in here, so I do consider this a mini bag, or a small bag. And this one to me, so even though it's similar in size to the jumbo, and people are always saying the jumbo is like such a big bag, and big bags, you know, are not in, but save your classic flaps because big bags are going to come back in eventually. This is not to me a big bag. That is not to me a big bag. When I'm thinking about the big bags from, you know, like 90s and the 2000s, we're talking like huge like tote bags, like tote bag size, like enormous bags. These are like medium-sized bags to me. Like I can't carry the kitchen sink in these guys, right? So I get it. If you're very small framed, it's a completely different world. And then these bags can get really heavy once they're stuffed, but to me, a big bag is really something like a tote bag, right? Like our Speedy 35 is a big bag. A Speedy 30, you know, is a bigger bag. I don't know if that I would consider that a very large bag, depending on what your frame is. The 25 is definitely a medium-sized bag. So I went off on tangent there. I should probably do a completely different video talking about the jumbo and the kind of bad rap that it's gotten and the falling out of favor. It's because it's one of my favorite bags. But again, we have this guy, it's Business Affinity in the large size. Got the pocket in the back, which this also has the pocket in the back. So this does not have leather interior. This has leather interior. So this pocket is lined in leather. And then they both have the CC turn lock. They both have the little you know, lovely bubble in the front. This one's the older version with the all leather, so it has leather pull tabs here, whereas this one has the metal with the kind of the design on the zipper pull, which the current version with the leather interior still has the metal zipper pulls. The smoothness of the zipper is kind of equally as not great. This is not a Louis Vuitton zipper, but I kind of just keep them open anyway. This one made in Italy. This one made in Italy as well. And then this one, people are saying, so the zipper, right, the pulls, they kind of lay more flat, even though they're in the front, so they don't annoy you when you're trying to open and close the bag. If you put the zipper pulls, the metal ones, all the way in the front, they don't lie flat at all. They stick completely out, so they kind of can get in the way of closing your bag, or they dent it. I don't know if you can see that, but the zippers are like stabbing my front flap because they just stick out no matter what you do. So that's why a lot of people just kind of keep this open like this. What it fits is kind of fun because it's so big but the first thing I always do to see what'll happen is I take one of my Kirigami pochettes, you know, the big size, and I just put it in and see what happens. And it like so easily fits. So if that fits, then basically it'll fit almost any SLG that I have, right? Like full-size wallet, of course it fits. And so I was kind of having fun with this the other day to kind of give you an idea of what it can fit. And yes, without the feet, it does want to flop forward. I don't know how I got it to stand up just a second ago, but okay, I'm gonna lay you like this. So if I open up the Bouchette Kirigami and do all 3 pouches, so we'll do all 3 pouches, we'll do the full-size wallet, we will do we'll do a key clay, because I see a lot of key clays in videos out there, so I'm just assuming a lot of people have that. Let's do a zip wallet. You can do the mini pochette, right? And even though it's kind of, you know, stuffed a little bit, right? So we've got the medium kirigami, the large kirigami, the small kirigamis here in this corner. Then you have a key clay, you have a zipper wallet, you have a mini pochette, you have the full-size wallet, and then you can close it super easily. And if you look at the front flap, it is lifted just a tiny bit here, so it is lifted above, but it's not too bad. And then if I wanted to put my phone, I could easily still shove it in that way. So this guy fits a ton. You know, I would never need to carry this many SLGs, but it fits a lot. It does not fit a water bottle this way unless you have a shorter water bottle, but it easily fits a water bottle this way, as you can see. Alright guys, this is just, you know, a nice introduction to the large size. Does anyone have more than one Business Affinity out there? Or does anyone have more than one bag that you purchased in multiple sizes but the exact same color? So I'm trying to do the length of the straps here, and you can't see. Let me see if I can move this guy. So if we go up, so they're both flat on the ground, and then if we go up here, the length of the chain is almost exactly the same. So if I pull them taut, maybe the large size has like an inch more give, but if I raise the bag, so if I try to make them even to the top like this, then of course the small size wins by like several inches. So when I'm carrying these cross body, this one seems like it hits lower, but they're basically hitting at the same part. This one just has more bag above. Yeah, so that's a quick intro to the large size. The resale market prefers the small size over the medium and the large. Probably the best deal you're going to get is on the large sizes, but it just depends on the color and the condition. So that just means, what's in, what's selling. But again, I wish people wouldn't discount the larger bags, but again, I get it. Depends on your frame and depends on what you're needing. But I feel like I can only have so many tiny bags that barely fit anything, while the larger, more medium-sized bags are very like workhorsey for me, so I can use them in many, many different occasions. So I don't mind having more of those. All right, guys, if you've made it to the end, thank you for watching. Do all the great YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Comment down below. What do you think? Too many black bags? Is there such a thing? Should I do a video of all my black bags? I did see a couple people, there's some videos circulating of the all black collection, so maybe I'll do that, including all my black SLGs. That sounds like a fun video, because I did one of all the color bags. Ooh, I'll link the one with all the colored bags down below. And yeah, welcome large Business Affinity, and I think one day I'll have a whole family of them. Hopefully. Okay, alright guys, I'll see you in the next one.